Most people think life is happening to them. But what if it's happening because of them? Every thought you think, every emotion you repeat, it's building your future right now. You are not powerless. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are the creator of your reality. The moment you change your energy, the universe begins to rearrange itself around you. So stop waiting for a miracle and become the miracle. There comes a moment in life when you have to stop waiting for the right time, the right people, the right opportunity. Because the truth is, no one is coming to save you. You can keep hoping that someone will open a door, that luck will suddenly appear, that the universe will hand you a miracle. But real power begins the moment you decide to stop waiting and start creating. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are the architect of your reality. Every thought you think, every decision you make, every action you take is building the world you live in. And the day you finally realize that everything changes, you've been conditioned to believe that help must come from outside you. That someone else knows better. That someone else holds the key to your success. But what if the one you've been waiting for is you? What if the hero you've been searching for has been quietly waiting inside your own mind, waiting for you to wake up, to remember your power, to rise? Taking your power back means taking responsibility, not for what happened to you, but for what you do next. It means no longer blaming, no longer complaining, no longer waiting. Because every time you give your energy to excuses or fear, you give away your power to change. The truth is, no one is coming. No one is going to do the work for you. No one is going to push you when you stop, and no one is going to hand you the life you dream about. It's on you. But that's not something to fear. That's something to celebrate. Because if no one is coming to save you, it means you have the power to save yourself. It means you are free to choose, free to build, free to rewrite the story. Every great transformation starts with one decision, the decision to stop waiting and start moving. You already have the strength. You already have the wisdom. You already have the power. It's time to remember who you are, take the power back, and create the life that was always meant to be yours. There is a power inside you that you've forgotten. It's been buried under years of doubt, fear, and conditioning, a voice that whispers, "You're not enough." But deep down, beneath the noise of the world, there is another voice, quiet, steady, and eternal. It's the voice of your true self, the creator, the healer, the force of life itself. You've been taught to look outside for answers, to seek validation, approval, or permission. But real transformation begins the moment you turn inward. The power you're searching for doesn't exist out there. It exists in here, in the space between your thoughts, in the silence that follows your breath, in the awareness that watches your life unfold. Every human being carries this same infinite potential. It's not reserved for the chosen few. It's built into your designs. But the world has trained you to forget it, to live on autopilot, to react instead of create, to follow instead of imagine. Awakening is the moment you remember that you are not your past. You are not your failures. You are not the labels that others gave you. You are consciousness expressing itself through a body. You are energy in motion. And that means you can change this. You can grow. You can evolve at any moment. This awakening doesn't come through knowledge alone. It comes through awareness, the awareness of your thoughts, your emotions, your patterns. When you start observing instead of reacting, you begin to take your power back from the programs that have been running your life. You start to see that your mind was never your enemy. It was just untrained. And once you learn to direct it, you stop being a victim of circumstance and become a creator of destiny. The power within you is not sleeping. It's waiting. Waiting for your decision. Waiting for you to stop identifying with limitation and start embodying the truth of who you are. When you remember that truth, your energy shifts, your reality begins to rearrange itself, and life starts responding to your new vibration. You don't awaken by chasing something new. You awaken by realizing that everything you've ever needed has been inside you all along. Your mind is the most powerful tool you will ever possess. It's a creative machine that doesn't sleep. It's always recording, always projecting, always shaping your world. But most people never learn how to use it. They live by default, not design. They think the same thoughts, feel the same emotions, and repeat the same actions, and then wonder why nothing changes. You are not stuck because life is unfair. You are stuck because your mind keeps playing the same program. Every thought you think sends a signal into your body. Your body reacts with emotion, and that emotion feeds the same thought again. It's a loop, a cycle that repeats itself until you decide to break it. Reprogramming your mind begins with awareness. You have to observe your thoughts as if they're not you, because they aren't. You are the awareness behind them, the one who has the power to choose a new one. When you interrupt the pattern of old thinking, you weaken the emotional grip of the past. You begin to separate your identity from your history. Every time you visualize a new future, your brain starts building new connections, new patterns, new possibilities. It doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's imagined. It simply responds to what you repeatedly focus on. So when you imagine a greater life with emotion and intention, you start reprogramming your subconscious to match that reality, but it requires consistency. You can't think positive for one day and expect your life to transform. You must live in the vibration of your desired reality long before it arrives. You must act, speak, and think as if it's already true. That's how you train your mind to believe something greater. The mind will resist at first. It will pull you back to comfort, to old stories, to familiar pains. But that's how you know you're growing, because transformation always feels uncomfortable at the beginning. You're rewiring your brain to stop surviving and start creating. When you master your mind, you master your world. The thoughts you think today are the blueprint for the life you live tomorrow. So if you want to change your life, start with the place where your reality begins, inside your own mind. Every moment of your life, you are making choices, whether you realize it or not. The thoughts you think, the words you speak, the emotions you hold on to, they're all choices. And every choice sends a message to the universe about who you believe you are. You are not a passenger on the journey of life. You are the driver. But most people have forgotten that. They've handed their power over to circumstances, to fear, to doubt, to the opinions of others. They wait for life to change before they decide to feel better, not realizing that life changes because they decide to feel better first. Choice is creation. Every time you choose love over fear, gratitude over resentment, growth over comfort, you are creating a new future. You are rewriting the vibration that life responds to. Because the universe doesn't respond to your words, it responds to your frequency. When you choose consciously, you shift that frequency. You stop being a product of your environment and start becoming the architect of your destiny. You begin to realize that your outer world is nothing more than a mirror of your inner world. If you keep choosing to live in the same emotions, anger, guilt, worry, you keep recreating the same experiences. But the moment you choose differently, the moment you say, "This, no more," you send a signal that the past no longer defines you. That's the moment change begins. Every great life starts with one decision, a choice to rise above limitation, to think differently, to feel differently, to act differently even when it's hard. That's the mark of a conscious creator. You don't need permission to change. You don't need approval to start over. You simply need to choose. Because choice is the ultimate act of power. It's how you break the pattern, how you reclaim control, how you turn possibility into reality. Today, right now, you can choose a new story. You can choose to stop reacting to life and start directing it. You can choose to stop surviving and start creating. You are the author of your life. And every choice you make is a sentence in that story. Every great change begins long before anyone can see it. Transformation doesn't start when the world applauds you. It starts in silence, in those unseen moments when you decide to think differently, to feel differently, to believe in something no one else can see yet. The unseen world is where everything begins. Before a seed becomes a tree, it hides beneath the soil. Before light fills the sky, darkness holds the space for it. And before your dreams become reality, they exist as energy, as intention, as unseen potential waiting for you to align with it. Most people give up because they don't see results right away. They think nothing is happening. But the truth is, everything is happening, just not yet visible. Your thoughts are sending signals, your emotions are creating frequency, and your energy is communicating with life itself. The unseen world is rearranging itself to match who you are becoming. You cannot rush transformation. You can only trust it. When you meditate, when you visualize, when you choose new emotions, you are building a new reality from the inside out. And even though no one else can see it, the shift is already underway. The universe doesn't respond to effort alone. It responds to energy. And when your inner world changes, your outer world has no choice but to follow. This is why faith is so powerful. Faith is not waiting for evidence. It's believing so deeply that evidence must appear. It's walking in the unseen as if it were already visible. When you trust the invisible process, you align with creation itself. You become a vessel for what's possible. Transformation is not about forcing results. It's about becoming the person who naturally attracts them. It's about matching the energy of the life you desire long before it arrives. You don't have to see it to know it's real. You just have to believe, because everything you see around you once existed in the unseen. The comfort zone feels safe. It's familiar, predictable, and easy to control. But comfort is the silent killer of growth. It whispers, stay here, don't risk it, don't change. And so we settle, not because we can't go further, but because the mind convinces us it's better not to try. Every time you take a step beyond your comfort zone, you enter the space where transformation begins. Growth doesn't happen in the familiar, it happens in the unknown. That's where new experiences live, where your future self is waiting, where life begins to meet you with opportunities, synchronicity, and expansion. Your mind was designed to protect you, not to evolve you. It wants certainty, it wants safety. But the soul, your deeper self, seeks freedom. It wants you to explore, to expand, to express. That's why the call to change feels both exciting and terrifying. It's your old self fighting to survive while your new self is trying to be born. When you move past what's comfortable, you begin to build a new identity, one that's not limited by fear or routine. At first, your mind will resist. It will tell you you're not ready. It will give you every reason to turn back, but if you can sit in that discomfort without running from it, you'll discover a hidden power. The power to choose growth over fear. The unknown is not your enemy. It's the birthplace of every miracle you've ever dreamed of. It's where possibility lives. It's where your energy expands to match a greater version of yourself. And once you step into that space, you realize that fear was never a wall. It was a doorway. Every great life begins with one courageous step into something you cannot yet see. So stop waiting for perfect timing. Stop waiting for confidence to appear before you act. Courage comes first, confidence follows. The life you desire will never fit inside your comfort zone. You must step beyond it. That's where the real you is waiting to meet you. The moment you stop making excuses is the moment your life begins to change. Excuses are comfortable. They protect the ego. They give you a reason to stay small, to delay, to avoid the truths. But excuses also keep you trapped in the same story, a story where life happens to you, not because of you. Responsibility is not blame. It's not about shame or guilt. It's about power. It's the recognition that everything in your life is responding to you, to your energy, your choices, your beliefs, your focus. When you take full responsibility, you stop being the victim and become the creator. The world reflects what you project. If you see limitation, it's because your mind is tuned to it. If you see opportunity, it's because your awareness has expanded beyond fear. Every complaint, every excuse, every justification is a withdrawal of power. Each one says this, I'm not in control. But the truth is, you always are. When you choose responsibility, you step into alignment with truth. You understand that your thoughts are not random. They are directives. They are shaping your emotional state, your behavior, and your destiny. No one else can think for you. No one else can feel for you. No one else can change your life for you. That's your sacred work. Stop saying, I can't, and start asking, how can I? Stop saying, it's not my fault, and start asking, what can I learn from this? Because every challenge is a mirror, and what it reflects is the part of you ready to evolve. The more responsibility you take, the more freedom you gain. Freedom to create, freedom to choose, freedom to rewrite the story of your life. When you own your energy, you reclaim your power. When you stop making excuses, you stop living on autopilot. You become conscious, and that's when everything begins to shift. The universe rewards responsibility because it's the highest form of awareness. It says, I am the cause, not the effect. And when you start living from that place, your reality begins to bend in your favor. So stop waiting for something outside to change. Take responsibility for what's within. Because the moment you do, you become unstoppable. Everything in this universe is energy. You meet every thought, every emotion, all of it vibrates. You may not see it with your eyes, but you can feel it. You can sense when someone walks into a room heavy with negativity or when another person radiates peace without saying a word. That's energy, invisible, but undeniable. Your thoughts are electric, your emotions are magnetic. Together, they create a signal that is constantly broadcasting out into the field. And that signal draws back to you experiences that match your vibration. This is not magic, it's resonance. The energy you send out becomes the energy that shapes your reality. When you live in fear, you attract more things to fear. When you live in gratitude, you attract more to be grateful for. When your energy is aligned with love, peace, and clarity, life begins to reflect that harmony back to you. You are not waiting for the universe to respond. You are teaching it what to send by the frequency you emit. You've been taught to chase outcomes, to control circumstances, but everything physical begins in the energetic. The outer world is just a mirror of your inner vibration. If you want your life to change, don't start with your environment, start with your energy. Ask yourself, what am I sending out today? Every time you complain, doubt, or compare yourself, you lower your frequency and pull in more of what you don't want. But every time you choose gratitude, love, or forgiveness, you shift that vibration, and the universe begins to rearrange itself around you. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. So when you raise your energy, you raise your life. Your power lies in becoming aware of the energy you bring to each moment. That awareness alone begins to transform everything. Energy never lies, it always returns home. What you send is what you receive. So send love, send strength, send belief, and watch how life starts sending it right back to you, magnified, multiplied, and perfectly aligned with the person you're becoming. Most people misunderstand discipline. They see it as restriction, as control, as punishment. But real discipline isn't about limitation, it's about liberation. It's about freeing yourself from the patterns that keep you stuck. It's not self-control, it's self-respect. Discipline is the highest form of self-love, because when you're disciplined, you're telling yourself, I am worthy of something greater than instant comfort. You stop chasing temporary pleasure and start building lasting purpose. You stop letting emotion dictate your life, and you start aligning with your highest vision. Every time you choose consistency over comfort, you're building a bridge between who you are and who you're becoming. And yes, it's hard, because your old self will fight for survival. Your habits, your doubts, your fears, they all live inside the comfort zone. Discipline is the tool that moves you beyond it. Discipline is not about perfection, it's about commitment. It's waking up on the days you don't feel like it and remembering why you started this. It's saying no to the distractions that drain your focus so you can say yes to the vision that fuels your soul. It's the quiet, unseen work that no one celebrates, the small daily actions that eventually transform your entire reality. You can't love yourself and continuously break promises to yourself. Every time you do, you teach your mind that your word doesn't matter. But every time you follow through, even in small ways, you strengthen the bond with your own soul. You begin to trust yourself again. And from that trust, confidence grows. Discipline is love in motion. It's how you prove your intentions are real. It's the difference between wishing and becoming. The person you dream of being is already within you, but they can only emerge through the consistency of your actions. When you master discipline, you no longer need motivation because your actions become automatic expressions of who you are. You become unstoppable, not because it's easy, but because you refuse to betray your purpose. So don't see discipline as a cage. See it as a path, the path that leads you back to your power, your freedom, and your highest self. Gratitude is not just a feeling, it's a frequency. It's the vibration of abundance, the signal that tells the universe, I already have everything I need. And when you live in that frequency, life begins to give you more to be grateful for. Most people wait for something good to happen before they feel thankful. But true gratitude is the opposite. You feel it first, and the good follows. Because when you are grateful for what you have, you shift from a state of lack to a state of abundance. You stop focusing on what's missing and start seeing the miracles that have been with you all along. Gratitude rewires your brain. It changes your emotional chemistry. It calms your nervous system, and it opens your heart to receive when you express gratitude for something, even before it happens. You're teaching your body how your future feels. And when your body learns that emotion, your reality begins to catch up to it. Every time you pause to say, thank you, you're aligning yourself with creation itself. You're signaling to the universe that you are ready for more, not from a place of desperation, but from a place of trust. Because gratitude is trust made visible. It's saying this, I may not see it yet, but I know it's already mine. When you wake up in gratitude, you stop chasing happiness and start embodying it. You stop waiting for life to prove itself and start realizing that life is happening for you, not to you. You begin to notice the beauty in ordinary things, the warmth of sunlight, the rhythm of your breath, the miracle of simply being alive. Gratitude opens doors that effort alone never could. It attracts opportunities, connections, and synchronicities that align with your highest good. Because abundance doesn't come to those who want more, it comes to those who feel more. So instead of asking, when will it happen? Start saying, thank you, It's already on its way. Let gratitude become your daily practice, your emotional home, your foundation. Because when your heart lives in gratitude, you become a magnet for miracles. Nothing in this universe stands still. Everything is in motion. The stars, the planets, the oceans, the cells within your body. Life itself is movement. And the moment you stop moving, you stop growing. The universe doesn't respond to stagnation. It responds to momentum. When you move, you create energy. You send a signal to life that says, I'm ready, I'm available, I'm participating. But when you wait for motivation, for the perfect timing, for the right sign, you block that flow. Because the truth is, action comes before clarity, not after it. You don't need to see the whole path before you take the first step. You only need to trust that as you move, the next step will reveal itself. That's how the universe works. It meets you in motion. Every small action creates ripples that extend far beyond what you can see. Most people spend their lives thinking, planning, hoping, but never moving. They wait until they feel ready, not realizing that readiness is born through movement itself. Every time you act, you shift your energy. You awaken parts of yourself that can only come alive through doing this. The universe rewards movement because movement is creation in motion. When you start, you align yourself with the creative energy that built everything. Doors begin to open. People appear. Ideas flow. But none of it happens until you begin. Stop waiting for the fear to disappear. Move with it. Stop waiting for the perfect plan. Move anyway. Because movement transforms you, not just your circumstances, but your state of being. It changes how you see yourself, how you think, how you feel, how you attract. Every great creator, every visionary, every success story began the same way, with a single step into the unknown. They didn't wait for the universe to prove itself. They proved themselves to the universe through movement. So whatever dream you're holding, start now. Take one small action, one small step, because the universe is watching this. It's waiting to respond. And the moment you move, it moves with you. Your energy is sacred. It's the invisible force that shapes your thoughts, your emotions, your life. But in a world filled with noise, chaos, and distraction, it's easy to give that energy away without even realizing it. You absorb other people's fear, their doubt, their negativity, and then wonder why you feel drained, unfocused, or disconnected from yourself. Protecting your energy isn't selfish, it's survival. Because everything you allow into your space becomes part of your vibration. The people you spend time with, the conversations you engage in, is the media you consume. They all influence the frequency you live in. You must become intentional about what you allow near your mind and heart. Not everyone deserves access to your energies. Not every environment supports your growth. You have the right to set boundaries, to say no without guilt, to walk away from anything that disturbs your peace. Your environment is a mirror of your inner state. When your space is chaotic, your mind becomes restless. When it's calm, your spirit expands. Surround yourself with people who remind you of your power, not your limits. With voices that speak vision, not fear. With environments that elevate your energy instead of draining it. Energy is contagious. If you spend enough time around negativity, it becomes the language your body speaks. But when you surround yourself with higher vibrations, love, purpose, gratitude, and faith, you begin to operate on a completely different level of awareness. Protecting your energy means choosing peace over validation, presence over distraction, alignment over approval. It means becoming so grounded in who you are that nothing outside of you can disturb your inner balance. You are not meant to match the energy around you, you are meant to set it. And when you protect your space mentally, emotionally, energetically, you become magnetic. Your frequency rises, your clarity sharpens, your intuition strengthens. So cleanse your space, guard your focus. Be mindful of what you give your attention to, because whatever you feed with energy grows. Protect your energy and you protect your future. The present moment is all you truly have, yet most people spend their lives trapped in two illusions: the memories of the past and the worries of the future. They live everywhere except here. And because of that, they miss the only place where life actually happens, this moment. Presence is power. It's the state where your mind and body become one, where time dissolves and awareness expands. When you are fully here, not lost in yesterday or anxious about tomorrow, you become limitless. You stop reacting to life and start creating it. Every time your mind drifts to the past, you're giving your energy to something that no longer exists. Every time you obsess about the future, you're investing energy in something that hasn't even arrived. The only space where transformation can happen is now, because now is the access point to consciousness, to creation, to the divine intelligence that moves through all things. When you slow down and breathe into the present, you begin to notice the subtleties, the rhythm of your heartbeats, the stillness between your thoughts, the quiet whisper of intuition that was always there, waiting to guide you. In presence, the noise fades. You stop chasing and start receiving. You stop seeking meaning outside yourself and begin to realize that everything you've been searching for has always been right here in the now. The present moment isn't just a place of peace, it's a place of power. Because when your attention is anchored in the now, your energy stops scattering. It concentrates, it amplifies, it becomes magnetic. That's when change happens. When you are fully conscious, fully awake, fully alive. The future is created in the now. The healing you're waiting for begins in the now. The abundance, the clarity, the freedom you seek, they all emerge when you surrender to this moment completely. You don't have to fix the past. You don't have to control the future. You only need to master this breath, this heartbeat, this instant. Because when you master the now, you master life itself. You can't control everything, and that's the beauty of life. Yet most people spend their entire existence trying to. They hold on tightly to expectations, outcomes, timelines, and plans, believing that if they just control enough, they'll finally feel safe. But control is an illusion. The more you try to force life to bend to your will, the more resistance you create. There is a universal intelligence, a divine order, that's always working behind the scenes. And sometimes the detours, the delays, the endings are not punishments. They're protection. They're realignment. They're lessons meant to move you closer to who you're becoming. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means releasing your grip on what you think should happen so life can unfold in the way it's meant to happen. It's the art of surrender, not to weakness, but to wisdom. Because surrender is trust in motion. It's saying, I may not understand right now, but I know this path has purpose. When you let go, you stop fighting the current. You allow life to carry you toward something greater. You open yourself to the flow of creation where synchronicities appear, where opportunities align effortlessly, where the impossible begins to feel natural. Trying to control everything comes from fear, fear of loss, fear of uncertainty, fear of failure. But when you trust the process, you move from fear to faith. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this teaching me? Every moment of uncertainty is an invitation to grow. Every challenge is a bridge to a higher level of consciousness. And every time you release control, you allow the universe to show you just how powerful trust can be. You can't control the wind, but you can adjust your sails. You can't predict the storm, but you can learn to dance in the rain. When you stop resisting life, you begin to experience the magic that was always there, hidden behind your need to control it. So breathe, let go. Trust that every delay has meaning. Trust that every ending is a beginning. And trust that what's meant for you will never miss you, as long as you stop trying to force it and start flowing with it. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are the architect of them. Every thought you think, every emotion you repeat, every belief you hold, they are all frequencies you broadcast into the field of possibility. And life, like a perfect mirror, reflects back whatever you continually send out. The reality you experience isn't something that just happens to you. It's something that happens through you. Your thoughts are not harmless. They are creative commands. Your emotions are not random. They are energetic blueprints shaping your future. When you think and feel in alignment with possibility, you become a magnet for it. Most people live unconsciously, repeating the same thoughts, feeling the same emotions, reacting to the same situations, and then wondering why their life never changes. But transformation begins the moment you wake up to your own power, when you realize that your inner world creates your outer world. Every time you choose love over fear, gratitude over complaint, faith over doubt, you're altering your vibration. You're stepping into the frequency of creation itself. The universe doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to who you are. When your energy matches your vision, reality rearranges itself to meet you there. Creation doesn't happen by wishing. It happens by becoming this. You must become the person who already has what you desire. You must think like them, feel like them, act like them now. Because when your inner state reflects your desired future, you collapse the distance between dream and reality. This is the secret most people never realize. You don't have to wait for life to change before you feel better. You feel better first, and life changes as a result. You don't have to chase your destiny. You attract it through alignment. So stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for proof. You are the proof. You are the cause, not the effect. You are the creator, not the creation. The moment you decide to think differently, feel differently, believe differently, the world around you begins to shift, because the truth is simple: your power has never been outside you. It has always been within, waiting for you to remember who you are, a conscious creator, a being of infinite potential. And the moment you embrace that truth, your new reality begins.